matter-of-fact way she always spelt things out. I drank too much. You know what I'm like. I'm sorry. She paused, then squeezed my flaccid cock, also matter-of-factly. At least you know it's working again. My fingers found her wrist, gripped it. What's that supposed to mean? You lure me home for a mercy fuck, then dump me again? You promised me it was temporary. We just needed time apart. The cock was released, the wrist tugged free. She rolled abruptly out of bed and out of reach. Where are you going? I can't be near you when you're angry, Richard, she said with that same measured calmness. You think I'd hurt you? After all you've been through? Was this the stupidest thing I'd said so far? I regretted the words as soon as they left my mouth. You broke my nose, she said. Remember? I couldn't even see your nose. It wasn't the first time you'd lashed out, she said, then added that same calm, infuriating word. Remember? Anger management step 1, count to 10. I got as far as 3. It was the first time you got in the way. How many times do I have to apologize? It was an accident. Just like the pills were an accident. You think I took them deliberately? I can't do this now, she said, and pulled on some rustling item of clothing. A silk kimono, probably. Everything in her refuge seemed made of silk. Or satin. I'm late for handover, she added, and I've got a splitting headache. I said, you think I tried to top myself? Heavier items of clothing began hitting the quilt next to me, stirring the air faintly. Only you know the answer to that, Richard. Get dressed. Please. I'll drop you at the night shelter on my way. Our wild night together might never have happened. She was back in daytime rational, get-things-done mode. Chinese mode, she'd often joked in the days when I'd loved both sides of her split brain. I can find my own way to the night shelter, I said, and began tugging on clothes, only to get bits of my anatomy in the wrong holes and tug them off again. Which further enraged me. It disgusted you so much to make love to a blind man. What disgusts me is being hit by a blind man. I wrestled with the clothes a little longer, trying not to say what I said next. Are you fucking someone else? A weary yawn. I sensed she was rubbing her eyes. One memory that never fades. Those almond eyes. Their heavy upper lids so perfectly sculpted they might have been glued on each morning along with the big lashes. 1 million of them in the country these days, and billions further north, but hers still as rare as ever. At least in my particular mind's eye. Not that again, she said. Who is it? Who are you fucking? I just fucked you, remember? And before that, guess who? You. Again. Even if it's so long ago you've bloody well forgotten. At last, a little passion. A deadly combination when she was on song. Eyes narrowed against the dust and glare of the Mongolian steppes, mouth broadened by the western suburbs of Adelaide. Part of me wanted to kiss her again, on the mouth and the eyes, but most of me just wanted to lash out. How do you live with yourself? Walking out on a blind man. What do you tell people? No answer. She was rummaging in her bedside drawer, a sound as familiar as those that followed, the tearing of tinfoil, the 2 aspirins fizzing in the glass of water. When she spoke, she was matter-of-fact again. I tell them what I tell myself. I sat by his hospital bed every day for a month. I took a year off my studies when he finally came home. Remember? That word again. I forced myself to stay silent. I loved him, comforted him. Tough love at times, but only when needed. I nursed him through his rages, his self-pity, through all those times when he wouldn't fuck me, and how did he repay me? She paused and drank the dissolved aspirins calmly. I was anything but. Repay you? What was I? A business investment? I drove him to blind school. She methodically ticked off more key performance indicators. To dog training, those writing classes the shrink recommended. My T-shirt and jeans had found their correct limbs at last. My jacket followed. Through thick and through thin, I said, in sickness and in health, then added my own short arm jab. Remember? You think I didn't try, Richard? You were a full-time job, but I didn't mind. At least she was talking to me now, not about some business plan. I just wanted my husband.